Ryan, talk to me about what you think they know about Navarro or what they want to hear. We certainly know that the January 6th committee calls in people to verify information they already have. But in Navarro's case, as in the case of a bunch of people here, they've either written books or talked about it endlessly on TV. So what's going on? What's Navarro's problem? Is it just what he construes as the illegitimacy of the committee?
It's interesting because, there's been reporting, and NBC News can confirm now that that DOJ has actually declined to prosecute two other Trump affiliates who were subpoenaed and who had been referred for a contempt of Congress, prosecution, but the DOJ has declined to do so. And that's because they actually negotiated. Mark Meadows actually worked in some way with the committee. And what Peter Navarro did here was just completely stonewall the committee. He did not engage at all. And he didn't even, when he was subpoenaed for his communications with the Trump lawyers, he did not also turn over that material, which he was supposed to give to the grand jury yesterday on Thursday. So this is a pretty quick turnaround here. And, he went into as a pro se defendant and was sort of throwing around a lot of these terms that he seemed to have picked up on TV about prosecutorial misconduct and how he believes his constitutional rights were violated, when in reality, I think it was someone experiencing the criminal justice system for the first time in their 72-year life. This is an individual who wasn't necessarily handled in a different way than any other criminal defendant would be. In fact, getting arrested at the airport arguably is a much better scenario than getting your door kicked in the at the break of dawn. So it's not necessarily a great argument to make when you compare it to how many other people go through the system. And I would also note that the magistrate judge here during this hearing, it was part of remarkable, sat for an hour and basically explained how the system worked to this pro se defendant. That's not how a lot of people actually go through the system. That's not how they experience this on an everyday basis.
Let me ask you, Paul Butler, because Ryan was just talking about the other two people whom the Justice Department has declined to comment. I'll read you from the New York Times. The reporting there, the Justice Department is saying, based on the individual facts and circumstances of their alleged contempt, my office will not be initiating prosecutions for criminal contempt as requested in the referral against Messrs. Meadows, that's the former chief of staff, and Scavino. Matthew M. Graves, the U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia, wrote to Douglas N. Letter, the general counsel of the House, on Friday. My office's review of each of the contempt referrals arising from the January 6th committee's investigation is complete. Can you give me some sense of why some of these contempt referrals work and end up with an indictment and an arrest and some don't?
So Navarro and Steve Bannon basically told the House committee to get lost. They've refused any kind of meaningful assistance. Mark Meadows, on the other hand, turned over thousands of pages of documents. He didn't give the House panel everything they wanted, but he gave them a lot. The Justice Department usually says no when Congress asks it to prosecute somebody for contempt. And that's true whether it's a Democratic or a Republican administration. The department doesn't want to get too involved in congressional disputes that are often rooted in partisan politics. So, Ali, it's actually more remarkable that the Justice Department is trying to lock up two people, Bannon and Navarro, with close ties to Trump. At this point, it's too late for those witnesses to help the January 6th panel. So DOJ is sending a message to other future congressional witnesses. If you, like Navarro and Bannon, don't even make an effort to respect the law, if you totally diss lawful orders to testify, then you will get locked up. You will face serious criminal consequences.